So we've now got episode 4 of The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 1. This episode is titled The Wrong End of the Telescope. Not really sure why it's called that, but that's the name of this episode anyways. But if you haven't seen this episode yet and you don't want to get anything spoiled for you, do not watch this review because it's going to be a full in-depth spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it, you don't want to get anything spoiled for you, don't watch this review. So this episode takes place in a high school, which I thought was a pretty cool location to have within the Walking Dead universe, because to the best of my knowledge, we've never actually seen like someone or people within a high school. Of course, we have seen it at the start of the apocalypse with Fear the Walking Dead, because Madison used to work there, and also the Kingdom wasn't a high school, but we haven't seen a high school the way we see a high school in this episode, where it's fully decayed, walkers, like they were in the middle of a dance, by the looks of things, everything's just destroyed. We haven't seen high school the way we see in a high school in this episode, so I thought that was just kind of a cool kind of place to look at, because we've seen places like shops, hospitals, but we haven't seen a high school in this kind of atmosphere. So I thought it was cool to see a new location type like this in this kind of episode itself. I thought the kind of, as I said, the atmosphere, the location, all that was pretty cool within this episode. Our group of 6 people break up into groups of 2. We've got Elton and Felix, which I thought was a fair enough combination. You got Hope, you got Huck, and you got Iris and Silas, which I think there's 100% a relationship building there. I thought in episode 3, but I wasn't really that quite sure. But after this episode, there is 100% building a relationship between Silas and Iris. I don't know how that's going to go, or I don't know if they're actually going to go ahead with it, but just by the looks of things in this episode, I feel like they're kind of going to set them up for a relationship, especially by the end of episode 3 when you see he puts the blanket around her. They actually have that nice dancing scene moment, which felt kind of out of place within this episode. It doesn't really feel like it belongs in this episode, because it was really weird. They're dancing and then it kind of flashes in and out of kind of the reality they're in when the place is decaying around them, jumping back to what it would have been like if they were dancing at an actual ball back then. So it just kind of, that wasn't really a fan of that kind of look of things. It felt very much kind of like probably a Disney movie, I'd say, rather than a Walking Dead TV show. But there's 100% a relationship building between the two of them, and Silas is still probably the character who I'm most interested to see more of. We get a little bit more of his backstory revealed in this episode. We find out the person he was actually beating on was his father, and I think he's dead. I don't know if it's confirmed or not that he actually killed his father, but we know the person he was beating on was his dad, so we get that little bit more information. There's so many questions I have about Silas. Is his mother dead? Is his grandparents dead? What actually happened for all this to build up? He's such a mystery of a character, and I really want to know more of his character. I want to know more of his backstory. I want to see more of that character, so hopefully we will see more of him in episode... Jeez, we're in episode 5. We're almost halfway through this season so far, but I'm looking forward to seeing more of his character. Iris in this episode didn't annoy me as much as she did in previous episodes. I think it's because we didn't really get to see an awful lot of her. She's kind of ignoring Hope for the most part. She, as I said, she was with Silas. I feel like she works well with Silas because he's not really someone who's going to get up and talking a lot. He's kind of quieter, so she kind of has to do majority of the talking. So I think she kind of plays off well with him. I think if they kind of continue to pair Iris with Silas, it'll be a good pairing, because I don't think Iris is a good leader. I think she'd be more better as kind of like a secondary character, like a Glenn type character. I think she would work better in that role. Just kind of leave her with Silas and let Felix or someone else be the main character, because she really doesn't work as that main character. But as I said, you also do have Felix and Elton together, and Felix and Huck's kind of agenda for this episode was to try and convince our group to go back. So they kind of got the weaker links. They got Elton and Felix together. So Felix is going to try to convince Elton, and Huck is going to try to convince Hope. And by the end of the episode, Elton was convinced by Felix to turn around the fact that they don't actually belong out here and they should go back. And my best guess is, as of right now, they're going to get to the stage. Hope is going to want to get back. They're going to get... Silas is going to go, yeah, we should actually probably go back, especially because that outbreak he has towards the end of the episode when he starts punching on the walker, accidentally knocks Elton to the ground. So I feel like they're all going to want to go back except Iris, which is going to cause a good bit of controversy because Hope isn't want to go back. No one's going to want to go back without Iris going. The fact that she's going to keep going, she's going to put someone in danger. And I think the only person I can realistically see her put in danger could be Elton. I can't really see them killing off Hope. I feel like Hope has to reunite with her dad. Silas, I don't think it'd be Silas because he's such a big monster of a character. I don't think Iris can put him in danger. So I think Elton could be the character that could very much lose his life because of something stupid Iris has done, which would cause so much controversy. Honestly, I do think Iris and Hope are going to fall out. I think their relationship will be destroyed by the end of the season. I do think it's because Iris is going to do something stupid that's just going to knock everything over. In terms of action, nothing really happened for this episode. We had probably one walker kill. We had Silas stab one with his big massive wrench. We also seen him beat on one of them, just punching with the face. I'm pretty sure Felix killed a few, but we could only see him just like jab it into them, and they were kind of cut off because they were in a locker. And we got to see a wild dog with Hook and Hope, the wild dog. Nothing actually happened there. I was kind of hoping something would happen there where they probably have to shoot the dog or just something. I just wanted to see something happen there, but honestly nothing happened there. Quite anticlimactic. That dog did kind of show up towards the end, almost actually getting Iris and Silas. That's why they realized they had to leave the kind of area they were in because you hear the dog growling. But for the most part, it was very much just a character episode. Nothing really happened majority of the episode. It was just a lot of talking. Nothing action-wise really happened. I actually really can't even remember if by the end of the episode they had... Actually, no, they were leaving it by the end of the episode. They actually get a pretty cringe-worthy photo. Elton takes a photo of everyone. And it was just... It was so forced, the photo. It just didn't feel organic. As I said, it was just very forced, the photo. I just felt like he goes, oh, let's just get a photo. And I didn't think it felt organic whatsoever. Also, the melodrama in this episode, it's still there. It wasn't as bad as it was in previous episodes, like last week's episode. I think that was a bit too much. But there was melodrama, just not as much. I think this episode, it's fine. The characters, I'm just kind of getting used to the characters now. I'm getting used to what this show is. I'm getting used to not expecting like Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. I kind of have this on more of a CW level TV show. And since I'm expecting that, I'm kind of going, okay, that's what I'm getting. I'm not really expecting much anymore. I kind of felt like, okay, I've got to watch this. I know what's going to happen. I'm not excited for this show. I know I'm going to watch it, but I'm just never excited. But we do get a post-credit scene. As the credits were kind of coming off, I went to my phone, like, okay, what I watch next? And then a post-credit scene came up. I was like, oh, fantastic. And we see a scientist actually looking at walkers. They've got like a mouth guard on them so they can't bite. They got them strapped up and they're kind of testing on them, seeing all this stuff. We see that one she actually brings in was actually a previous scientist, so we know they're not just going to put anyone in there. I thought it was pretty interesting seeing that they're actually testing on the walkers. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I don't know if they're kind of doing what Milton did back in season 3 of The Walking Dead, seeing if they have any memories after they turn. But I was like, literally as I was watching it, like, oh, please just give me something of Rick. Like maybe have Rick be one of the people dragging the walker bodies in, just something cool like that. But we didn't see any Rick Grimes. I don't think we will see any Rick Grimes until season 2. I'd be surprised if we see any Rick in season 1. It'd be pretty great to see Rick in season 1, but I don't think we'll see anything of Rick Grimes in season 1. Probably not even in season 2. We might get his name, or someone will talk about him and it's kind of heavily implied that is Rick Grimes. But honestly, I don't think we'll ever see anything of Rick Grimes, even though I would love to see something of Rick Grimes. I just don't think we ever will. But just that little thing at the end, as I've said for my review episode 1 and episode 3, the stuff that interests me the most is the stuff with the CRM, and seeing at the end that they're testing on the walkers. I'm more excited now for those Rick Grimes movies, and I just want to see what happens in episode 5 to get some more CRM information, because I'm just so interested with this CRM group. I hope they don't let us down. I hope they're not just going to build it up and it's just complete crap. I hope it is. I hope it pays off well, and I'm really excited to see who the CRM are and what they are doing with Rick Grimes and why he has not been able to go back to his family for the past 6 to 7 years. So I am excited to see what's going to happen in episode 5, just in case we get more CRM stuff. I'm still of the mindset where I'm not watching this show for the characters. I'm watching the show for the CRM members. So hopefully we get more CRM stuff in episode 5. I hope we get like just a good bit more, then a post-credit scene, maybe the last 10 minutes or so of the episode, just focus on CRM, give us a bit more information, because that's the kind of stuff I would like to find out more, is about the CRM. So hopefully we will get more CRM. But if you want to hear my thoughts on episode 3 of Fear the Walking Dead season 6, that will probably be Tuesday at this stage. I haven't actually been able to watch the episode yet. I'll probably be watching on Monday, and then my review will drop on Tuesday. So if you want to hear my thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead season 6 episode 3, that will be Tuesday, and then next Saturday, probably either next Saturday or Sunday, my episode review for episode 5 will be out. It depends. I might be doing the Mandalorian episode 1 first, or World Beyond episode 5 first. So if you want to hear my thoughts on either of those episodes, click the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching.